Welcome back to a Fifth Jack Gaming, where today we're diving into the magic world. We're going to open up 3 packs of Zendikar Rising. These are going to be the special set boosters that have 12 cards in there and has 1 foil in there in every pack. So without further ado, let's dive in. Our fancy art card. Full art forest. Spare supplies. Costs 2. It's an artifact. Enters the battlefield tapped. When spare supplies enters the battlefield, draw a card. Pay 2. Tap it to sacrifice it to draw a card. Deliberate. Costs 1 and a blue for an instant. Scry 2. Then draw a card. Draga Visionary costs 3 and a green for an elf wizard. When Draga Visionary enters the battlefield, draw a card. Put 3/2 body. Side Cave Squid costs 1 and a blue for a squid who has Defender and Landfall. Meaning whenever a land enters the battlefield, it has a special effect. In this case, the squid ends up losing Defender. Has a 3/2 body. Fireblade Charger costs 1 red. It's a goblin warrior, and as long as Fireblade Charger is equipped, it has haste. When Fireblade Charger dies, it deals damage equal to its power to any target. It's a 1/1 body. Core Blade Master costs 1 and a white for a core warrior who has double strike. Equipped warriors you control have double strike. It's a 1/1. Tangle for Raging has a cost of 1 and a green. It's an elemental. It has tap at a forest with a 1/1 body, but has this unique ability of becoming a land that allows us to just tap for 1 green. Cinderclasm costs 1 and a red. For an instant, has kicker for 1 red. That means we could pay that as additional to our spell. Cinderclasm deals 1 damage to each creature, and if it was kicked, it deals 2 damage to each creature instead. Sky Cave Apparition costs 1, 2 white for a core spirit. When Sky Cave Apparition enters the battlefield, exile up to 1 target non-land, non-token permanent you don't control with a converted mana cost of 4 or less. When Sky Cave Apparition leaves the battlefield, the exile card owner creates a XX blue illusion creature token, where X is the converted mana cost of that card that was exiled. Has a 2/2 body. Taurox Hope's Demise costs 2 and a black. It's a legendary creature. It's a demon cleric flying. Taurox Hope's Demise has lifelink as long as it has 5 or more +1/+1 counters on it. Whenever another non-token creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on it. On him specifically. And if that creature was a cleric, you may draw a card. If you do, lose 1 life. Foil is Adventure Awaits, which is 1 and a green. The top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in any order. Specifically, put the rest of them at the bottom of your library in a random order. If you don't put a card into your hand this way, draw a card. And the final card is Lanalore Reborn. Enters the battlefield tapped. It has tap add a green, and it also has graft. This land enters with a 1/1 counter. And whenever a creature enters the battlefield, we may take that 1/1 counter and put it on that creature. Moving on to pack 2. There's the full art card. Looks like we got a foil full art swamp. Mesa Lynx is a 1 and a white for a cat. As long as it's not your turn, Mesa Lynx gets a +0/+2 as a 2/1 body. Vanquish the Weak costs 2 and a black for an instant. Destroy a target creature with a power of 3 or less. Blood Price costs 3 and a black. As for a sorcery, look at the top 4 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest at the bottom of your library in any order. You lose 2 life. Merfolk Falconer costs 3 and 2 blue for a Merfolk Wizard with flying, and whenever you kick a spell, scry 2. Has a 4/4 body. Demon's Disciple costs 2 and a black for a human cleric. When Demon's Disciple enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a creature or a planeswalker. Has a 3/1 body. Kite Sail Cleric costs 1 white for a core cleric. Has kicker. Kicker costs 2 and a white. Flying. When Kite Sail Cleric enters the battlefield, if it was kicked, tap up to 2 target creature. Has a 1/1 body. Cabraro's Takedown costs 1 and a white for an instant. Cabraro's Takedown deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control to a target creature or planeswalker. But it also has a land where it flips and it taps for a white. Skyclave Squid, which is one of them that we already got earlier, so we don't have to break him down as much. Top Bugcatcher costs 1 and a red for a Goblin Warrior. Trample. Whenever Top Bugcatcher attacks, it gets a +1/+0 until end of turn for each creature in your party. So with a party, we have different members. So when they say for each different type of creature in our party, they're talking about the different classes that they have. They have a cleric, rogue, warrior, and wizard, which was featured in this set. So if we have 2 clerics, it would only count 1 cleric. But if we have a cleric and a rogue, it'll count 2 then. So it'll get +2/+0. But it has a 1/2 body. Shadow's Verdict costs 3 and 2 black for a sorcery. Exile all creatures and planeswalkers with a converted mana cost of 3 or less from the battlefield. And all creatures and planeswalkers cards with a converted mana cost of 3 or less from all graveyards. So our special foil is Cabraro's Outrider, costs 3 and a white for a human warrior. When Cabraro's Outrider enters the battlefield, target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each different of the party types that we have. It's a 3/3. And then we got the Core Warrior. That was pack 2. What did you think of that? Not really too much spice going on there. Definitely has a unique art card. We got a full art forest. Highborn Vampire costs 3 and a black for a Vampire Warrior. That's a 4/3 body. The Mana Sky Dancer costs 2 and a black for a human rogue. Flash, flying. When the Mana Sky Dancer enters the battlefield, target opponent mills 2 cards. It's a 2/1 body. Malakar Blood Priest costs 1 and a black for a Vampire Cleric. When Malakar Blood Priest enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X amount of life and you gain X amount of life, where X is the number of creatures in your party. Has a 2/1 body. Namana's Skitter Sneak costs 3 and a black for a human rogue, as long as the opponent has 8 or more cards in their graveyard. Namana Skitter Sneak gets +1/+1. Necromera Skitter Sneak gets +1/+0 and has Menace. It has a 3/4. Menace means it only could be blocked by multiple creatures. You get to set up Base Camp. Base Camp enters the battlefield, tap, add a colorless, or we can tap it, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast clerics, rogues, warriors, or wizards, or activate abilities of a cleric, ranger, or cleric, rogue, warrior, or wizard. Veteran Adventurer costs 5 and a green for a human. Veteran Adventurer is also a cleric, rogue, warrior, and a wizard. This spell costs 1 less to cast for each creature in our party. It has vigilance. It's a 5/5. Suna's Vision costs 2 and a blue for an instant. We get to look at the top 6 cards of our library, reveal an instant or a sorcery card from among them, and put it into our hand. Put the rest of them at the bottom of our library in a random order. Then on the other side, it taps for a blue. Enters the battlefield tapped. Inscription of Insight costs 3 and a blue. It's a sorcery. Has a kicker of 2 and 2 blue. Choose one. If this spell was kicked, though, we get to choose any number instead. So we get to return up to 2 target creatures to their owner's hands, or we can scry 2 and draw 2 cards, or a target player creates an XX blue illusion creature token, where X is the number of cards in our hands. Turn Timber Symbiosis costs 4 and 3 green. It's a sorcery. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. You may put a creature card from among them onto the battlefield. If that converted mana cost is 3 or less, it enters with 3 additional +1/+1 counters. Put the rest of them at the bottom of your library in a random order. And then the other side, on the other side, as Timberwood Serpentine Wood enters the battlefield, you may pay 3 life. If you don't, it enters the battlefield tapped. Costs 2. And it taps for 1 green mana. Rolling Vortex costs 1 and a red for an enchantment. At the beginning of each player's upkeep, Rolling Vortex does 1 damage to them. Whenever a player casts a spell, if no mana was spent to cast that spell, Rolling Vortex does 5 damage. Pay 1, your opponents can't gain life this turn. That's a neat little enchantment. And then our foil is Scale the Heights. Costs 2 and a green for a sorcery. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature. You gain 2 life, and you may pay an additional land this turn. Draw a card. And then we just got a filler card. The game might not stop there, but this pack opening does. What did you think of the packs? Anything you're doing with Zendikar Rising? Put it down in the comments below. If you're liking the content that we're putting out, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified about our future content. And if you have a couple friends that would be like watching these videos, don't be afraid to be able to share us. Till next time, have a good one.